Oh, so let's see what more batshit crazy nonsense we've got today, eh?
Because wait, what do you do about crazy fucks on the internet? And physicists
How ironic.
sort of crazy fucks. I mean, they want to get into some sort of personal confrontation, because you don't agree with their physics. And
No, I don't think that was the case. I think you got personal first, didn't you?
the fact that they made a stupid rag page about me, isn't it all interesting?
It wasn't stupid, it was absolutely bang on point, really. It was factual and correct.
But the fact that he's, this whole doxing thing just pisses me off because this is really easy to understand. I don't live in my house.
How is it doxing? You emailed him with your fucking name. You showed your own email with your own name in your own video. So how's that doxing? Doxing is when you go out and purposely source personal information. So it's not really doxing, is it?
Live in somebody else's house, and so it's their security, you're jeopardizing, and it's just like fuck. And it's a woman besides, which makes it okay. Makes it's a little more vulnerable. It's something you don't really mess with. You don't fuck with other people related to somebody else. You don't do
that. Yeah, but it's probably not. If the lady of the house opened the door, it's not her is going to want to punch in the face, is it really?
And the fact that this physicist can't even understand that. I mean, that he would have to resort to this bullshit in the first place. You're just like, what the fuck? But this is apparently his character. Okay, so his videos are all over the place. He's got fucking...
Yeah, but the problem is you picked a fight, didn't you? You picked a fight with somebody, and then you basically called them a fake, a fraud, and then personally attacked them. So you brought all this shit on yourself, didn't you? And now you're whining about it like a little bitch.
Video game. This is a physics professor. Video games. Then teaching people how to make chloroform and explode.
So a physics professor can't play video games. And chloroform, it's used in industry. It's not just out of 1940s fucking Sherlock Holmes movies where they put it over somebody's mouth and send them to sleep. Fucking hell, it hasn't been used for an anaesthetic for God knows how long because it's fucking dangerous.
I mean, who the fuck needs chloroform?
It's used in labs. It's used as a solvent. It's used to make other chemical reactions, to produce other things. Fucking hell.
What the fuck would you use it for exactly? What would somebody in their own home need to use chloroform for? I mean, I can't come up with any good reasons. Yeah, none.
No, you have to come up with a nefarious one because that's your way of thinking.
Except to do something malicious and nasty and crazy world, really. Just so fucking silly that you have to put up with this horse shit from these loonies. So anyway, I did put up my own page about him. Okay, I started one anyway. But I'm not at all...
Oh, isn't that nice?
Interested in this personal shit. I want to argue physics. So the lunatic keeps emailing me.
He did argue physics. You just didn't like the answers.
I mean, I don't respond to his emails. He just keeps doing it. You're just saying, obviously this is one of those things where apparently he's in love with me and he wants me to fuck him in the ass or something. And so he really needs my attention because if he doesn't...
And again, the thing is, you started it and you were absolutely vile. I mean, have you ever thought of taking down the video and apologising properly? Because you made some shitty emergency correction video. There was no apology in there. So you basically, what he was telling you was correct. You admitted it was correct. So therefore you should apologise for what you said. For basically, to put it nicely, that he has sexual relations with his mother. You know what I mean? It's not normal behaviour.
He's made a couple of videos, got his family in them, which really doesn't make any sense if you're going to be online, fucking with other people's lives. That's a pretty dumb thing.
He ain't fucking with anybody's life. You started it. You picked on him. And the thing is, you're now accountable, aren't you? The thing is, you sit there in your little basement thinking you can fucking badmouth everybody. But reality fucking bites, doesn't it?
So the last email he sent me just today was, hey, loser, did I make you upset? You're so quiet lately. No, I'm still making physics videos, idiot, because I'm...
You're not making physics videos, you're just talking shit. And again, you could respond and say, I'm sorry, for the things I said, the slander and the insults.
Not really interested in you or your stupid petty little shit brain or your silly little fucktarded life or your plumpy wife or any of that shit. So just take all your bullshit.
And again, you just go for more insults. And you think this is somehow going to make things better?
shit elsewhere, fucktard. You can't make a physics argument. I'm not interested, shit for brain. I mean, this whole page is all this fake.
He did make a physics argument. He showed you evidence. Fucking hell.
Narrative that has nothing to do with the physics argument, that doesn't in any way illustrate it in any way. I mean, it's just, what the fuck, from a physicist? This is, you don't expect it from, a professional, okay, who has a professional standing in a university.
He does that for a job. He's still a human being and a person, and he probably doesn't like being called horrible things.
What is your alternative? Would you fight back or not? And again, it's this whole
Fight back. You fucking started it. That's the thing. You started it with your big fucking mouth.
And, maybe you can afford to put your name out there because you're not saying anything controversial. But go ahead and do something controversial, fucker. And then all of a sudden, maybe you're not going to feel so secure in what you've done. Make a political video.
I thought we were talking physics here.
Hard. Go ahead. Do that. Something more bold than saying Tesla wasn't all that. Yeah, something bolder than that. So anyway, it is weird. So I won't bother going on and on about it, but it is,
Well, you just fucking did.
I don't care about your rag. Like I said, the only part I care about is the part where you threaten the security of other people connected to me. That's the part I can't find acceptable. And so if you want to provoke further action from me, I can take further action. I can get into your personal life.
Has he said that, though? Where's the proof of that? If you've got the email, show that he's threatened that.
So I am making the series of videos, obviously, on that aren't getting viewed much, which is...
Yeah, they aren't getting viewed much because they're a load of fucking bullshit. I've debunked the first one. What was your second one? Friction. Yeah, I've already debunked that with experimental evidence. Your bullet gun thing and your rocket. Just watch Bruce Whiny's video. That sorts that one out.
Yeah, typical of YouTube. The 10-minute videos, 10-minute versions of the... basically all the little arguments you can make about how kinetic energy just doesn't fucking work. And...
But they're not arguments. You're just talking shit and don't understand anything.
The quandary is how to get them interested. So I don't know whether I have to do another little email campaign or something, I guess.
How to get them interested? Say something with merit that doesn't sound like a 5-year-old's fucking said it.
No, it's just so irritating. But, these are basic physics concepts, and the fact that you can't get any of these physicists to respond to what are...
Because they're probably laughing their tits off. Thinking, oh my God, that's a grown man saying that.
But obviously, there's issues that create what certainly appears like paradoxes in terms of what actually is conserved and what actually...
Seems like paradoxes to you, and you alone, by the looks of things.
It does work. The next one I'm going to be making is probably the ballistic pendulum or the free momentum thing. Is just so obviously weird. I mean, the very idea that you're...
Oh, God. How many times have you gone over this one?
You have a concept where you have a closed system, and in that closed system... 1 second you have 200 joules, next second you have 100 joules, then you have 200 joules, then you have 100 joules of motion. The very idea of unmotion or...
And again, you're conflating. You just said about free momentum, and then you're saying joules, which is energy. That's not momentum.
Anti-motion or negative motion. I just don't get how somebody could actually believe in that, especially after I've made these arguments.
No, you just don't get it. It's not about other people believing it, other people understand it and get it. You don't, because you're stupid.
These arguments deserve a response, and the fact that they won't make one that doesn't...
They don't deserve a response, because they listen to what you're saying and go, oh my God, is he fucking stupid or what?
Include a bunch of insults and wasted time. It's just so fucking irritating. And decide what to do with the unpleasantness, created by the complete asshole who thinks invading people's personal life and personal...
You created the unpleasantness yourself.
All hobbies and personal anything has anything to do with a physics argument, which it certainly doesn't. All right, anyway.
Well, again, initially you were arguing physics, so how did, you get into the insults you got into? Because you didn't like the answers of the physics. So therefore you go into your 2-year-old little fucking tantrums, don't you?
All right, so this is Jason something or other, and used to work for NASA. Okay, I don't know in what capacity, but... So Newton's second law, so this is really, it's just kind of funny because it says, okay, why Newton's second law is the foundation of physics, and it really isn't. It's the line drawn in the sand between Newton
and... It is the foundations of physics that you don't understand, therefore you don't understand any physics.
Leibniz. Clearly Newton believed twice the force, twice the motion, 3 times the force, 3 times the motion. He emphasized it right under the second law.
You keep saying that. Oh my God.
So So obviously he saw huge proportionality or correlation between force and motion. They're essentially equal each other, is frankly what he's basically saying. That force is momentum, and it causes momentum. And
Nope, he didn't say that. And this has been explained to you over and over and over, and you're still not getting it, are you?
there's no v squared element. The velocity isn't increased non-proportionally to the force. It's proportional to the force, equal to the force. So this is the big lie of physics that somehow...
I don't know what you just said there, but it was a load of word salad.
They're going to convert Newton into a Leibnizian. So Newton's worst enemy in life, they're recklessly and with complete disregard to the status Newton should have.
And again, you keep going on about the history. Who cares? It's about who was wrong and right. And they were both right in their own way.
They're going to fucking plagiarize Newton and distort it. They're going to pervert Newton's concepts into somebody else's concepts, which is a pretty disgusting thing to do. Clearly, Newton didn't say...
No, that's not the history at all. Again, you're getting all muddled up and getting it all wrong, like you do.
F equals MA, and he clearly didn't say 9.8 meters per second squared. He didn't say those things. That's words they've put in Newton's map.
No, I think Newton said 32 feet per second, which is 9.8 meters per second, or 9.8 meters per second squared.
That are Leibniz's concepts, not Newton's.
Law of motion, and this is part one. So this is, without a doubt, one of the most important lessons you'll ever watch and learn about in physics. There's an old joke that...
Did you hear that? It's important. Probably one of the most important. So why don't you listen?
If you know Newton's second law of motion, you can solve almost any physics problem.
So I think I played this before. Sounds pretty familiar to me anyway. But we'll just play.
Yeah, and you obviously didn't listen the last time then, did you?
So I'm going to see if he says anything that I can grab hold of.
Is that essential?
No, because you don't listen. And he's saying stuff that's true, and it doesn't conform with your bullshit, so therefore you can't grab anything from it.
Just wrong. It's just wrong to say. I mean, to say that there's any other action than the one action. You have $10, you give away $5. That's the action. There's no counter action that made you $5 poor.
So, yeah, so basically, the first law, inertia, you don't believe in. The second law, F equals ma, you don't believe in. And now, the third law, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. You don't agree with that either. So, you basically just, to say you think Newton's great and he's your idol, you don't believe in the three laws of motion.
Forces actually cause an object to change its motion. But what is a change in motion?
Yes, it's a change in the momentum. That's exactly what Newton draws. So let's just say this is, they've broken Newton's concept in the sense they've...
But you keep saying a change in momentum. It's a change in momentum with respect to time.
Force equals the change in your momentum over a period of time if you want it in a rate. So obviously Newton was working with gravity, a lot of things that were going to be...
So you've written it there, yet you don't understand it.
So what physics often does is it likes to say that this is the net formula, and of course it's not, because there's no such thing as the net time. Okay, it wouldn't be any point. You just get rid of it, and so the net force is the net change.
And there's your problem there. So you just basically say, yep, Newton said this, but fuck it, we don't need time.
So that's all. So this is clearly what Newton was saying when he said twice the motion is created by...
No, it's not what Newton said. You've just basically omitted a variable. This is why you don't understand it.
Where they let a religious kook define a fundamental, cornerstone of their physics. He's just saying right now, the second law, and the second law, as physicists know it, is Leibniz's law. It's not Newton's physics, it's Leibniz's physics. And
no, it's not. Again, blatant lie or blatant misunderstanding.
Forces cause acceleration. Newton's second law of motion, it writes this down in a mathematical way. So again,
lie. Because the mathematical way is as simple as just saying force equals the change in your momentum. And that's what it is. That's his mathematical statement.
And again, no, it wasn't. And you know that. You're just talking shit again.
About it. Newton's second.
I hate when they do this shit. Writing on a board.
The first law of motion was more like an object.
Draw on a board. Don't write on a board.
To rest and...
Oh my god. So, you want pretty pictures. Oh, and that's sweet.
All right, so again, that's not Newton's formula. So again, they just keep putting Newton's name. He says it right there, Newton's second law. That's not his second law. That's not what he wrote. That's not what he conceptually understood it as. So it's a distortion of the truth. Now, it would be okay if they meant acceleration was just net acceleration, or if they meant, or they recognized the fact that it's a time-dependent, a rate of acceleration per second, then it would be okay. But they're going to say it's seconds over seconds and call that second squared. And that's where it all breaks down.
object has.
I don't know how many times that's been explained to you. You still don't get it, do you?
F equals ma. Now I'm putting the...
So obviously, Newton's formula would have just been F equals the change in mv. That's Newton's formula. So they're just lying about...
No, you're lying, because that's not what he said. You're perverting it. This is why you don't understand it.
One of the greatest scientists in human history. They're distorting what he said. They're perverting it.
No, they're not.
This measurement, we all know all this measurement shit is just arbitrary. So, okay, the kilogram's decent enough, but obviously you could use pounds.
All this measurement shit is arbitrary. What the fuck kind of statement is that? If you can't measure things, well, yeah, like you do. Oh, I'll have a look at it. Oh, yeah, that looks like it's twice as fast. Yeah, I'm sure humanity would be at the stage we are now if we had people like you running the show. Fucking hell.
So this is all quite bullshit. This idea of putting it in these strange quantities when all it is a weight. All it is, can be converted directly.
Strange quantities. Oh, God.
Acceleration. So we know, again, these aren't Newton's numbers because Newton was using pounds. And
again, you just said, oh, it's arbitrary. You can use you want pounds and kilograms. Yes, you can convert them. It's the same weight. Whether you say pounds or kilograms, as long as you convert them correctly.
Miles per hour, I think. Yards, feet per second. Yeah, maybe that's it. Yeah. It was 36 feet per second is what Newton, 9.8 meters was 34, 36, 32. One of those numbers.
Is measured in meters per second squared.
All right, so there's no squaring of the seconds. It's just absolute crap. What is it there?
How many times has this been explained to you? It's just the way it's written. It's just the way it's like shorthand. That's it. It doesn't mean you square the seconds. It's been explained to you in detail by multiple people. You can watch videos and learn, but you don't because you're fucking stupid.
Therefore, there's no reason to say there's a squared second. Why is it there? Because they say this is per second per second. That's why it's there. So they say to write per second, that is, you could have any number of seconds worth of the force, that somehow you square the second. But they also know that their mathematical notation takes that
No, they're not squaring the seconds.
Square seriously. It doesn't think it's a fake square. The math thinks it's a real square, that they're actually squaring the value that they're going to put in for acceleration. So they put the value in for...
Oh my God. Right. Let's try and explain it in a way that you might understand, because obviously you find this concept really difficult. So if I said I'm in a car and from rest that car will accelerate at 50 miles per hour or 50 miles per hour squared. So in 1 hour from rest, from zero, travelling for an hour, the velocity will be 50 miles an hour. That's the speed. That's what it'll have accelerated to. So it takes 1 hour to accelerate to 50 miles an hour. In 2 hours, even though you could say 50 miles per hour squared, so after 2 hours, the car would be travelling at 100 miles an hour. Because for each hour, the velocity increases by 50 miles per hour. So therefore, after 2 hours, you gain 100 miles an hour. You don't square it.
You are calculating.
I mean, we know the change in the velocity is a velocity number. And we know it's not second squared. We know it's a meter in meters per second. You go 60 miles per hour. You go 60 meters per second. There's no square. That's the change, 60 meters per second. There's no square.
But that's a velocity. 60 miles per hour is a velocity. You're not accelerating that, are you?
I mean, Newton is the impact. A joule is the impact of, so a joule weighs a kilogram and a Newton weighs 100 grams. Yeah, simple enough.
It's pretty close to a quarter of a pound if you like using pounds. But
yeah, that's right. So so he's using pounds, and again, there's 2 pounds. So it's a whole thing that a kilogram is like 100, is like 1,000. Is a kilogram is. So he said a quarter pound. You can understand if you did 1/5 of a pound, and then that would a quarter would mean that you have 2 full pounds inside of a kilogram. So now you have 1/8. Now you have 8/8. And you're just saying you could add the extra couple of things by just saying it's a little bit more than a quarter.
Of course, I don't like using.
What the fuck was that?
pounds, but some people need that in the beginning. It's about the force you feel in Earth gravity of an apple sitting in your hand, a typical medium apple.
Right, so that's a Newton, 100 grams. So apple's way more than that. Quarter pound, right, so a quarter pound is like 1/10 of a kilogram.
Oh, give it up. Mental arithmetic is not your forte.
That still isn't making any sense. So a quarter pound. Yeah, you're still stuck. A quarter pound is 1/10 of a kilogram. That's 100 grams. Apple's way more than that.
Forces cause the motion to change, which is what we call acceleration.
So again, it's okay to call that acceleration. It's just not okay to call it second squared, because the acceleration will not be in seconds squared. It will be in seconds, because it's going to be a velocity, 9.8 meters per second.
Now,
and there's your fundamental problem. You just said 9.8 meters per second, which is a velocity, not an acceleration. 9.8 meters per second over time, a change in velocity over a change in time.
that is what you're going to get out of most lessons, most lectures, most books, and I'm not trying to say that I'm like some brilliant person telling you stuff that other books won't have.
All right, exactly. You're just talking the same crap, okay, that physics talks, and there's no concept here.
Then I can calculate the acceleration that will result from that force.
The change in the velocity, again, the change in the velocity, and you got to get this understood. There's a net change.
Change in velocity over change in time. That's acceleration.